I just have no concept of time at all anymore. So that's fun. What is up, witches? I don't know about you, but thank Freya it's Friday. And because it is Friday, and because my confidence and whatnot has been sorely lacking as of late, I thought it would be a good time to do another Friday with Freya tarot card reading and kind of just do this as like a communal tarot reading, not just for me, but for the community at large going into the end of this week and into the weekend. But yeah, so today I'll just do a quick little intuitive tarot reading as best as I can, and I'm going to use my new Moon Crystal tarot deck, and then I thought maybe I would also pull a few from the Threads of Fate Oracle. So I'm just going to shuffle the cards. I'm not very good at this part, so bear with me. You might see a Loki in the frame. There he is. He's very curious and a helper, so he's always got to be in the thick of things, whatever we're doing. But I just really need to take some time with my patroness, Freya. I have kind of been neglecting her of late and not really been paying her attention or talking to her as much as I was. I don't know. I totally lost my train of thought now. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, it's gone now. It's gone. Oh, I remember what I was saying. I was saying that, like, for me it's been really hard still to sit and meditate at the altars because I'm just have kind of like ADD brain, and my brain's always running a mile a minute and have like 50 different tabs open in it at any given time. Anyway, whereas it's really hard for me to like sit and kind of try to focus or meditate at the altars. I'm an overthinker, so I kind of play out scenarios or conversations in my head a lot, which is usually like an anxiety thing and really nerve-wracking. So now, instead of just having like made up hypothetical conversations with people that don't have any point or go anywhere, I pretend like I'm chatting with Freya. And sometimes it's nice because instead of having that like worrier voice or that inner saboteur or that anxious voice in the back of my head always doubting or catastrophizing things, instead I kind of picture like I'm talking to Freya and what would she say back to me, and that's been a really good way of just kind of staying in the present moment and focusing on possible good outcomes instead of like what's the worst that could happen. So I kind of do that now, or just like when I'm driving in the car or in the shower is kind of when I'll have my little meditation sessions and just think about Freya or chit chat in my head with her about some problems of the day. So let's just see, now that we have this revitalizing spring energy, Brother Frey is coming through with the warmth and the sun. Starting to see some little plants and buds poking their heads up outside. What should we focus on going into this week and the weekend, Freya? So we have the Sun, the Tower, and the Ten of Swords, which at first glance, I'm not gonna lie, that card I don't like. It makes me nervous. I mean, obviously it's got some pretty unsettling imagery there, but I've had this card pop up a few times throughout the years in my readings, so let me see what I can do here. Alright, so if we're going with the 3-card spread, typically what you do with that is the cards represent past, present, future. The Sun, obviously, usually it's an image of a child or a baby riding a horse out in the sunshine. So we do have the sun is coming back slowly but surely. Once we hit that winter solstice, the days are starting to get longer again, finally, which is nice. And like I said, just the past week or so, even though it's still cold and we're still in winter, I'm feeling that spring-like energy in the air. Hi, Merlin. Everything's coming back to life. But then in the present, we have the tower. And as you can see, it's a tower being struck by lightning. So that usually represents some type of turmoil or upheaval. So we saw like the light at the end of the tunnel, maybe going into this year, we thought finally the worst was over. And I think in some sense it is. We're out of the chaos that was 2020, but there are still some old institutions, some old outmoded ways of thinking, or just whatever structures or pillars you've built up in your own life or in your own mind that need to be or are going to be torn down. Whether that's from some outside force, outside destructive, chaotic force, maybe it's that low-key radical change energy is going to be striking. So you might have some unexpected turmoil, some unexpected upheaval coming up. I know in my case, I thought we were out of the Mercury retrograde shenanigans, but I'm still having hella communication and technical difficulties at work today, hence why I'm here doing tarot with you instead. There's going to be some more upheaval, destruction of ideals, beliefs, whatever institutions or structures we've built up in our minds or in our lives, whatever we might hold near and dear to us. And even, like I said, especially if it might be something that is no longer serving us or needs to be torn down, then yeah, that is what needs to and is going to happen. And if you don't take the time to put in the work and do that yourself and take it down and build it back up the way you see fit, Loki and the gods are going to do it for you. So, which brings me into Ten of Swords. Scary, scary. And the reason why this card makes me uneasy, obviously besides the fact that this person's being stabbed in the back by 10 friggin' swords, which does not sound fun, is so it's also just not it's a very ominous card, to say the least. But to me, what it's come to represent is endings. And the sorrow that may come along with those endings. Maybe you're going through the end of a relationship, maybe a friend, lover, or even just a work colleague, someone in your circle that you associate with, whatever that relationship may be or however in depth it was. It's coming to an end, especially like with these two cards being together, like those institutions and those structures, or whatever you've been resting on, relying on, whatever situation, it's coming to an end. And this card, to me, usually represents, as much as we hate that and we fight against it, especially myself, I'm a creature of habit. I like having my routine and staying in my little safe space and in my comfort zone. But yeah, with the radical change and the destructive changing energies of the tower, it might be putting a damper or putting a quick and maybe even harsh stop to whatever plans we have going on, whatever relationships, whatever it is that we have kind of pinned our hopes and dreams on right now. I'm getting the sense that either that's not going to happen, it's not going to happen quite yet, or we may need to take a step back and totally re-examine what it is that we're putting our time and energy into and whether or not that's the best place for it, and deciding what things are coming to an end, whether or not it's in our power to do anything to stop it, which usually a lot of times it's not. And so a lot of times, we kind of just have to roll with the punches. I'm just going to go ahead and pull some more. Nine of Swords and Amazon of Pentacles. Okay, Moon Crystal Tarot deck. They have, you'll know if you watched my unboxing video, they've replaced the pages and the knights with, I think, daughters and Amazons. Oh, it's the sisters and the Amazons. So yes, instead of the knight, we have an Amazon of Pentacles. Yeah. Ten of Swords. Sometimes, despite our efforts, we will be defeated and let down by others. The only thing you can do is to pick yourself up and learn from the experience. So what this is telling me is that don't be defeated. Don't be scared or put off by this card. You might be feeling down or like you're not where you want to be, or things aren't happening the way you want or at the pace that you're wanting them to. But we have to endure. Endurance is key. Power through it, y'all. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Another very sorrowful image. But the Suit of Swords and swords in general are usually tied to the element of air, which is also associated with the realm of intellect. So your intellectual and your more logical side. So the Nine of Swords, we can see here, there's this woman, she's sitting usually almost on like a bier or a sarcophagus in like a tomb, and she's sad, she's weeping. And so I think this is also a card of letting go, of mourning. Perhaps mourning what you lost in from the events of the Tower and the Ten of Swords. You're going to be sad over whatever that loss or that ending is. But what we also have to realize is that it's also clearing the way for something new. And I think that's what we're segueing into with the Amazon or Knight of Pentacles, because Pentacles represent earth and wealth or prosperity, the things of the material plane, like material comforts. And so here we see this gal, and she's on her horse, and she's holding out a single pentacle. So what this represents to me is that we're going to see an ending. Something is coming to an end. Institutions or things that we've put our trust and our faith in are being torn down. Maybe it might be us doing the tearing down. We're part of this new growing pagan community, and we're tearing down a lot of old beliefs and paradigms and instituting our own. And that's a good thing. So in some cases, we may need to be the ones tearing down the old towers so we can build up a new, better one. In other cases, it might be an abrupt or unexpected loss, or just having to let go of a concept, a relationship, something that is not serving us anymore. And, we may be in the depths of mourning that loss right now and still in the thick of it, and that's okay. We're only human. And emotions aren't a weakness. You're allowed to feel them. It's only natural. And so let yourself feel the way you're feeling, even if they are negative emotions. Let yourself be in it. Let yourself feel them and process them, because then you're able to really let go and move on. And so this final card, this pentacle, this Amazon of Pentacles, she's it almost looks like she's embarking on a quest. We've got like a sunrise behind her. It's the dawn of a new day, and she's going out there and she's searching for new opportunities, because the Pentacles, as I said, are about wealth, prosperity, material comforts, opportunities. And so while we may be losing things and having to let go of things, maybe those things weren't serving us anymore. maybe we need a break from those things and we need to go out and search for something else, something better, something more fulfilling. And so to me, my takeaway going into this week, and just with all the turmoil and chaos that I've still been dealing with in my work life and day-to-day stress, we need to find more of a balance between that and doing the things that feed your soul. Find what feeds your soul, whether it's music, witchcraft, being outside, reading a book, spending time with your friends, with your pets, in your garden, wherever your passions lie, whatever nourishes you and makes you feel fulfilled and feeds your soul. Do more of that. I am going to shuffle my Threads of Fate Oracle and we'll pull one final card from here, and then I need to go eat for lunch because my stomach is growling. Feed your soul, but don't forget to feed your mind and body too. I'm really bad about neglecting that last one because of my ADD brain. I always have a million different things I want to do, and I'm always being sidetracked every which way, and then I realize that it's 2 o'clock and I haven't eaten anything yet today, so I need to be better about that, about finding that balance myself, and maybe being a little less often head in the clouds and more paying attention to my physical needs. Right in the middle is calling my name. Ooh, here we go. All right, so the final takeaway is, I don't know if you can see it because of the foil, share wisdom, which I guess is what I was inspired to do with you here today, and really kind of why I was inspired to start a YouTube channel in the first place, despite being a shy introvert, and kind of being really new at paganism and witchcraft, because it's something I've been interested in for many years before deciding to be a practicing pagan, and so I wanted to start this channel to share what I know and my thoughts with you, and I feel like we can all do that. That's what this community is about. We're all here to share our experiences and our wisdom and to seek it from our God. Go forth and seek wisdom and share it with others is the overall message from Freya. So hang in there. We might be going through some shit here in the coming weeks, y'all, but we just gotta endure it. You know, the gods are here to support us. Don't be afraid to reach out for guidance if you need that from them. Acknowledge your emotions. Acknowledge the pain that comes with change, that comes with the ending of one cycle and the beginning of another. But recognize that that's just part of life. The only constant is change. That's an ancient Lokian proverb for you there. Ever since working with Loki, that is definitely his kind of number one mantra, just not only that I have tried to apply to my own life, but that, he has really driven home to me since deciding to work with him. But you just sometimes we just have to roll with the punches, because that's all we can do is endure it and acknowledge the way that you feel about it. Let yourself feel those feelings, but then let it go and move on to the next thing. So that's all I really have for you today. I hope to have some more just kind of fun, casual videos coming up in the near future, like maybe a tour of my witchy room here. Have a good weekend. I hope that these cards don't throw too much of a wrench in the works for us, but I'm not very excited about those cards, but like I said, sometimes all we can do with the things life throws at us is choose how we react to it. You can't always choose what happens, but you can choose how you react to it. And with that, I bid you adieu.